remember playing Final Fantasy 15 at launch. Back then I thought it was decent, but it definitely had its fair share of flaws. Now I've returned to replay it with fresh eyes and a new perspective.
Set forth with my blessing, Prince Noctis.
This journey is a bit different. It's a road trip. 15 begins with King Regis of Insomnia sending his son Prince Noctis on a road trip to get married to his childhood friend Lunafreya. He's accompanied by his closest friends Gladio, Ignis and Prompto.
Oh well, if it ain't the boys with the fancy automobile.
Once you hit the road, Final Fantasy 15 quickly opens up into a massive open world, even has its own day and night cycle. It almost feels like a direct response to the criticism Final Fantasy 13 faced for its lack of exploration.
That's for damn sure.
I've got to admit there's some gorgeous vistas even by today's standards, and you'll be cruising along its miles of highway with the Regalia, a sleek royal car that feels almost like your fifth party member. What makes it even better though, you can chill to Final Fantasy music while you're driving. Speaking of the classics, if you're a huge fan of RPGs, consider subbing to Peter Bytes or liking the video. I'm a bit of an indie game developer, cover lots of RPGs, and you might like my Final Fantasy series where I'm replaying them all and ranking them as I go. Thank you.
So get out there and see the world, you hear?
One of the biggest controversial changes in 15 was moving away from the series' usual turn-based combat to action RPG. You take control of Noctis but can still command your party members to use their special ability. One of your core skills is Warp Strike, letting you quickly spend MP to close the distance with a powerful attack, and warp striking between different enemies is pretty slick. That said, the impact and weight of your attacks cuts both ways. Visually you've got flashy effects, warp striking and companion abilities, but mechanically a lot of attacks feel light or floaty with very little impact. Weapon choice helps a bit. Heavy weapons like great swords feel a little bit more solid, but faster weapons not so much. You'll be holding down the attack button to perform endless combos while reactionary dodging, which the usual turn-based veterans might not be used to. I'll be honest, it's definitely not bad, but I'm team turn-based. I wish Final Fantasy stuck with its turn-based roots.
Then quit moping, keep hoping.
You can pick up bounties to hunt, adding some structure to the open world, but I did notice several hunts were just the same monsters recycled at higher levels. I appreciate the bounty system, but I think Final Fantasy 12 did it a lot better, with more unique hunts and interesting requirements to tracking them down.
I like it better that way.
Some bounties only appear at night or during the day, and you'll want to rest at an inn or campsite to pass time. Resting is also how you level up. While you'll earn experience points fighting monsters as usual, you'll need to rest to cash it in and level up. There's also a skill point system that lets you invest in combat, quality of life and team-based upgrades. It's a decent system with oddly priced upgrades, nothing too game-changing, but previous games did it better, and I'd keep forgetting the skill system was even a thing, so I'd have loads of points to spend.
I like it.
At Lilin, you'll meet this Final Fantasy Cid and his granddaughter Cindy, who help upgrade and service the Regalia.
Cindy, Cid's grease monkey granddaughter.
Cindy's received a lot of heat for her design. Maybe not the ideal clothing for an engineer, but honestly I don't really mind. There's been plenty of sexy Final Fantasy character designs across the series, and I think Final Fantasy should stay true to itself.
I tell you what, you got a point there.
Now that I've probably offended people, tangent aside, while you're on your road trip you suddenly learn that the kingdom of Insomnia is destroyed and Noctis' father is dead. This is something you find out reading a newspaper headline. This is a huge story event that's not in Final Fantasy 15. To see what happens you need to purchase the Kingsglavie movie that released alongside the game.
Is this your idea of a joke?
So it feels like key plot points were stripped away from the game and sold as a separate movie instead, which makes 15's story feel fragmented and a little underwhelming without the movie.
Yeah, I guess you have a point.
While you're driving the Regalia, you're limited to the confines of the road. It's very restrictive at first, but in the endgame you can do a side quest to unlock a flight mode, which is really awesome and captures some of the essence of classic Final Fantasy airships. But since I played the game at launch, there's been patches and improvements. You can now upgrade the Regalia into a Type D version. Basically an off-road monster truck. It's sick as hell, and I wish this was in the game when I first played. Throughout the road trip, there's 2 major cities to explore, including Altissia, where you'll reunite with your soon-to-be Lunafreya. Inspired by Venice, it's absolutely stunning even by modern standards, filled with waterways, cafes, lively markets, and there's even a monster coliseum where you can bet and gamble on monster fights. Minigames return with a little chocobo racing, Justice Monsters 5, a pinball-style arcade game, fishing. While I didn't get hooked, I still appreciate minigames making a comeback.
Could I borrow you for a sec?
There's a fair few side quests as well. Some of the more interesting ones include upgrading the Regalia and hunting a behemoth to save and unlock chocobos. And it wouldn't be Final Fantasy without summons. You get to fight some of the summons like Titan and Leviathan, and they're over the top and intense visual spectacles that feel unique to Final Fantasy. But there's only a small number of summons you can get in 15, and sadly you can't summon them at will. You might get a prompt to summon depending upon where you are in the world and if your party is in trouble. Fact of the matter is, throughout my playthrough, I only got the opportunity to summon 2 or 3 times. Calling down one of the gods for a huge cinematic attack is pretty sweet. It's jaw-dropping, and when it actually happens it can be a life-saving clutch, but it's a little frustrating I don't have full control of them. I can't make use of the summons strategically. Okay, so we're against an evil empire, but we barely see its major players. Some of them are defeated off-screen with little to no explanation. The base game of FF15 has holes in its story, I imagine purposely left to be filled in with later DLC.
Got some business of my own to deal with.
The same goes with your party members, Gladio, Ignis, and Prompto. Each leaves the party at different points and comes back with unexplained scars or massive character changes. Ignis even comes back blind.
Ah, small sacrifice in the greater battle.
These feel like they would be huge developments and core story moments, but they're completely absent from the main game and added as later DLC. That said, my favourite moments with the party are when you're gathered together chilling at a campfire, or when characters like Prompto open up.
And there were times when I felt, well, worthless.
It's moments like this that make 15's characters feel real, and I wish we got even more of them.
Hey, pretty boy.
One of my favourite characters is Ardyn, a badass dragoon and mercenary who temporarily joins the party. I really wish we got to see more of her. There was some planned DLC that would have been all about Ardyn, but it was sadly cancelled.
Damn, you're badass, Ardyn.
Aw, thanks.
So a little bit in, we bump into this dude Ardyn, who claims to be the Chancellor of Niflheim. He's a bit of a sly, untrustworthy ally who helps Noctis early on, giving advice and access to different locations. He's the real antagonist of 15. He's really manipulative, and his true nature is revealed gradually. Basically, Ardyn has connections to Noctis' bloodline, and he's some corrupt immortal being that's been around a while and wants to mess everything up. As far as Final Fantasy villains go, he's alright, he's decent.
Dude, are you seriously trying to kill me?
So we travel the world a bit, looking for the tombs of past kings. We cross with Titan and Leviathan, and visually these fights are amazing, but gameplay-wise they leave a lot to be desired. The Leviathan fight especially is just holding down the attack button while you're basically invincible. This is where the story really climaxes. During the chaos with Leviathan, Ardyn stabs and kills your girlfriend, setting up Ardyn as a real antagonist and giving the player a real motivation to kick his arse.
And do remind him about the crystal.
In the moment it hits hard, it's a tragic love story, but we still interact with Luna Freya's spirit in dreams or visions throughout the story, making her death lose some of that finality and raw impact. And then we enter the final, kind of weird chapters of the game. They take place in more closed off areas separate from the rest of the open world, and it kicks off with our Gladio really going at Noctis, who's lost his dad, kingdom, and the girl he was about to marry. The guy is understandably a wreck and emotionally broken.
You need to grow up and get over it.
I am over it. I'm here, aren't I?
Maybe when you're not too busy moping.
I understand why Gladio is like this. He's a warrior who believes in tough love, he's not great with his feelings. But it's a really jarring arc where Gladio comes across as a bit of an arse, and it's one of those moments that really stuck with me from my first playthrough.
You think you're a king, but you're a coward.
Shut up! Don't do this!
While I rush towards the finale of the game, Noctis enters a crystal for 10 years to ascend and get the powers he needs to save the world. We jump forward 10 years to a ruined world, a world corrupted by our antagonist Ardyn. It's a pity we don't really get to explore the world of Ruin. It's a little bit like the world of Ruin in Final Fantasy VI. Instead we dive headfirst into a bunch of huge boss fights in the ruins of where the game started, Insomnia.
I bid you a warm welcome.
And I've got to say they're awesome, including an evil Ifrit who's so smug he spends half the fight just sitting on his throne. Cerberus even shows up too, which wasn't in the original version of the game but got patched in later.
Off my chair, Jester.
The king sits there.
I quite like 15's finale and ending. It's emotional. Ardyn's soul is completely destroyed and Noctis joins his lover in death. Bittersweet, tragic, and it works pretty well.
That's it.
What's what?
I've come up with a new recipe.
So overall I think 15 is a decent RPG. While I still would have preferred a turn-based game, I still think it redirects Final Fantasy into a better direction after 13, with a focus on exploration, some mini-games, and mixed characters. My biggest criticism with Final Fantasy 15, it just feels unfinished or fragmented. You need to watch the movie Kingsglavie, there's a lot of character developments in the Brotherhood anime series, there's obvious gaps in the story for future DLC. It feels like we were meant to do more with Ardyn. Later chapters feel a bit weird and rushed, and it would have been nice to explore the ruined world.
Good news, everyone! Your king has returned!
I've experienced the game like it was at launch with some updates, like Cerberus and the Type D Regalia that were added in patches, but I've decided I want to play all the DLC now and see if it changes my opinion on 15. So I'm going to play all the DLC next before I rank 15. Hopefully that video will be out next week. But in the meanwhile, I recommend my replay of Final Fantasy 14 from scratch, and that's including all its expansions. Alright, have a good one.